to Mr. Darryl P, aka Artist in Recovery. What's going on, dude? Yeah, I know it's been a long while. Let's just say I've been dealing with a hell of a lot of issues and videos recording on those things. And yes, I did miss the DNC entirely. I got stressed out. When I heard some of the protesters had some of the homeless coalition in there somewhere, I got pissed. Because the homeless and part of this larger contingency weren't being heard. And if you've been following this dude, you know what it's like to be homeless. A little bit, don't you? You should know some of it. How long did it take for you to get your apartment? Took you a while. Were you crashing on couches or going to places to stay? Living on the streets? Yeah. So imagine that pissing me off a great deal. Right now it's 12:59 in the morning, damn near 1 o'clock in the morning West Coast time. It's the 24th of August, 2024. Your video just came on a short time ago, so yeah, I'm just catching it. I'm just catching it. When Oregon sent their case over to the Supreme Court through a series of steps on that one, and Supreme Court said homeless are NIMBYs in a way. And now the mayors and governors are scrambling like crazy to either try to find accommodations for the homeless or just kick them out of their states one way or another. Not my backyard. Somebody on social media in one of the Star Trek fan clubs out there for Deep Space Nine, I think. Somebody had raised a question concerning about are we getting into one particular episode where we're going to have sanctuary cities. Throw the homeless in a location or two and just let them survive there. Season 3 or season 4, somewhere in there. The episode where they had the Bell Riots. Bell Riots were, well, named after a guy named Gabriel Bell in the television fandom in there. And he got sick and tired of what was happening, and he took hostages in a sanctuary city at one of those distribution places. And the character that was supposed to be Gabriel Bell got shifted over to Avery Brooks. Because Avery Brooks tried to keep the Gabriel Bell character alive, but he passed away from violence. So he and Dr. Bashir, it's a long thing on this one here, they tried to maintain history as best as they can so they didn't screw up their damn timeline too much. And by the time things got settled out and they got back to the station of Deep Space Nine, timeline was screwed up just a slight titch. Captain Sisko was mentioned by the name of Gabriel Bell with the photograph of Captain Sisko in there. So the real Gabriel Bell disappeared, and Sisko took over that one because of the timeline. Holy crap. But it's the sanctuary city that gets to me at this point. Are we going to be investing in sanctuary cities, slum areas? People are going to be fighting for survival, for scraps of food or cards so they can have a little bit more than the other person can. Not much medical coverage, but just house the NIMBYs in there while everybody else lives out there in comfort and style and stuff. Shit. That's very depressing, you know that? You were talking about a kid who came up that are just rose up because he heard the nomination of his father, and he was reacting emotionally. A young kid probably would. When I started hearing about how special this kid was, yeah, it makes a pretty good photo op. And a photo op where the right wingers would go insane over. In fact, they still are going insane over it. And yes, I heard about Ann Coulter in her mouth. I've been checking with the Indies on this one. And they kept the postings of what she said. But she got so damn embarrassed by the flack she got from them. Good. Good. I disagreed with a hell of a lot of crap she's done and pulled throughout the years, over the past few decades. All that shit she's been shoveling on people left and right, and this one caught her off guard. Big time. I remember every time she kept trying to get a book out there, she would try to get the damn thing publicized. Well, I don't think anybody's going to touch her at this point. She's radioactive. You don't touch family. You don't make insults. You don't do anything like that. But or on the opposite, when you're on the opposition, doesn't matter. Everything's open season, including the families. The candidates can try setting the ground rules, but unfortunately, we're dealing with politics, and there are no rules for engagement on this one, except what they try to mutually agree with, and then that gets broken all to hell. So a kid with challenges, as I called him, happens to get the attention of the right wingers who want to go nuts over this damn thing. At least a few select ones. And the other ones, I expected to say something about it. I mean, there's several of these assholes out there I know of that probably would have, but they hadn't. That was the one thing that they actually bothered to agree on mutually, probably off camera, not to attack family members like that. And when they heard about Ann Coulter doing this, they just made her radioactified. I mean, they made her radioactive on this one. She's nuclear. She's Chernobyl at this point. I could make all the jokes about that one if I could about her. She didn't apologize much. She took Twitter down, but she didn't say, I'm sorry. Was that a line out of character? Nope. She's going to keep it. She's going to own it. And they're going to own her ass on this one. So the independents are feeding off of her like piranhas. This kid has become a poster boy. He's become open season. But realizing that anybody makes him into a target at this point for their verbiage, for their vernaculars, they're going to get nailed on this one. You don't attack family members, especially when you have family members that have many challenges. And yes, I am using the word challenges, a politically correct terminology at this point. Because if you are disabled, you have challenges to deal with. Doesn't matter what kind of condition you got, physical or mental. Doesn't matter. You still got the challenges. So therefore, they're going to hold it on you on this one. And the kid's been making progress according to what I've been hearing. So it was a public display of pure emotion, of pure joy, of being happy for his father getting a nomination. He was so excited. And that's the thing that they can't stand, is the excitement of it. That's the edge that they're going to have, hopefully. Oh. I know this is hard. We've both lost. We both feel. I hadn't seen it because I didn't get the emotional impact on this one. I only got the clips of the thing. And I saw it. And yeah, it was an emotional moment. I'm looking at it dispassionately at this point. But if I'm going to look at it from a human point of view, yeah, that would have been a tearjerker moment right there. That also would have been a trigger for me. Not to mention a trigger moment for you. I've been trying to avoid the triggers regarding family in any way, shape, or form. But unfortunately, I'm surrounded by it. So yes, I will go through the motions, and I will do the waterworks. I will be unmanly. Try this one. I'm taking a college course online, continuing with my studies. And then the course I've got right now online, which is deliberate. I'm doing women in history. There are aspects of this one I'm discovering more and more that I see connections one way or another. And it still kicks my butt. I had to focus more on the schoolwork instead of on the DNC and all the sideshows happening, including if they were actually going to be talking about the protesters and the homeless situation. That was a major sidetracking for me. It got me emotional on this one, Darryl. It got me pissed off, angry at my own Democratic governor, Gavin Newsom of California. Some bitch. But apparently he's got no choice because he's got to follow the Supreme Court. There's a lot of cursing on this one I could use on this one. A lot on this one. And because of Oregon Falls had an issue that had to be dragged out and had made everybody in the United States open season on this one. Holding on to that feeling, holding on to that anger, that hatred, that frustration level at Oregon Falls, at SCOTUS, then at the governor, and then everybody else involved in the damn thing. It's just widespread on this shit. So I can't cry over the kid in the DNC situation. I'm crying over the people that are getting fucked over by this shit. I'm more concerned about the homeless out there losing status of being a human freaking being than I am about the kid, Guz, I think his name is. See, I'm not worried about him. I'm more worried about the people out there who are getting pushed around, shoved around, even though there's limited housing, very limited housing, and more people going on the streets. The thing that got me pissed off about it, if you've been watching my videos, I've probably explained it, but let me explain it to you on this one, if you hadn't caught it already. Holy crap. Or maybe you've already got it already. I hope so. Because how would you like to be put back in that situation again, Darryl? I'm not kidding. This scares the hell out of me. Because I've already been a few times already in my lifetime already. Most of it was with the family. They're not here anymore. I'm it now. And I'm getting more and more paranoid every time I see that door. Because I don't know what's going to be on the other side. If there's going to be a notification out there of saying there's going to be an inspection. And if the inspection happens, I'm out of here. I'm trying my best to get this place going. I've got so much bugs in this place, it's not even funny. I've got a dog that's losing her health. And I got to put pads all over the damn place so the carpet isn't ruined or stinking up the damn place. Main shit. I haven't got the money for anybody coming in here to clean up this place. But I got to do some of the work for myself. I have to. I got no choice. Because I don't want to be tossed out of here. I got no place to go. I got no place to live. Worst case, worst case scenario, I pack up what little I got that I'm going to call valuable with me, some clean clothing, and get the hell out. If it ever comes to that point, I hope to God Almighty it doesn't. I pray it doesn't, because it scares the living crap out of me, Darryl. It does. I've been out there. I mean, I'm lucky enough throughout my lifetime. I didn't get into that kind of situations, but I have been in situations with my family, getting evicted from one place to another place to another place. Either by our landlord having a burr up his ass, or property getting sold from one place to another place, or another person to another person. And you got to move out. And you got to move out. And you got to move out. I've been in one particular place with my family for about 12 to 13 years out in Reseda. Well over a decade. Well over a lot of memories. A lot of trials, tribulations, earthquakes involving too. But we couldn't keep the place because it got sold out. But we also couldn't make any deals or have the credit necessary to secure a line of payment to put an initial offering on a house. And if we did, if we could have, I mean, if we were actually able to buy the house a long time ago, it would have been home. I mean, a permanent home. I know what it's like being bounced from place to place all my life. I never had a permanent home, dude. I almost considered that place out in Reseda home. It was the closest thing I had. Everything in the place is like between 1 to 3 to nearly 5 years. Somewhere in that time period, there's always, okay, let's move, let's move, let's move. Why? Because of certain things happening. And once in a great while, there would be the sheriff's knocking on the damn door, and that's the last time that happened. Was David and I getting kicked out of a damn trailer home we'd gotten for about a year and a half and having issues with the park uh, and the leasing agent over that damn thing. We signed up for a few things, but we didn't realize what kind of sneaky charges the company actually popped on us. We weren't the only ones getting zapped. There was like a revolving door on these trailer homes. We lost a lot of our stuff during that time. A lot of it. Christmas decorations. I hated losing those. My personal collections I've had of books, of records, of pins, of other things. Even clothing. Get tossed out on your ear. I related more with the damn homeless people out there than I did anything else, and still do. Because I know that fear too damn well. I'm on fixed. I pay the rent on time. But there's always conditions, and I got them on the door all the time, telling me what they are. My choice, my decision. I'm not worried about a kid. I'm more worried about survival at this point. I'm pissed off about that. The plight of the homeless being shoved aside so we can get the fanfare of the Democratic National Convention on there. And even at Independence weren't even talking about it as much. No, they were talking about the main event. So I don't have that much sympathy for him. Trump can mouth off all he wants. J.D. Vance is a full of idiot. Goes into a donut shop with a press corps in there and makes himself look like a fucking fool and idiot. And the people in there are embarrassed as hell about it. And now he's political fodder on that shit. Fucking piranhas, man. Yeah, I'm still pissed off about it. I'd much rather before focusing on the schoolwork. So I wouldn't have to deal with all this shit. What was it? A long time ago, before COVID, we actually had politics we can try to get into. What was it, back in 20? before the COVID kicked in. Yeah, I was learning history courses, maybe something else along the way. And then oil breaks loose. And people bitching, griping about this or that or anything else. God. Anything else they want to bellyache about? If that wasn't bad enough, this is why I'm taking the online courses. So I can stay home and take care of my dog. It's a long term. I don't know how long she's got. But she's an old lady. She can't get around as much. And I have to be with her all the time. Otherwise, I'm afraid she's going to get into a situation where I can't get her out. I can't take care of her if I'm not here. So it's a 24/7 again. It's things I have to do. I'm not crying my eyeballs over the damn thing. It's just things I had to do. When you're a caregiver, you make sacrifices. When you're a caregiver, you go in, you do the job, and get out. But for me, I'm 24/7, so I'm stuck with it, baby. I'm stuck with it, dude. I have to struggle harder with the schoolwork because I don't have a classroom per se. I have information online that I have to go over and have discussions with students over issues. And then pray I win over the instructor regarding the discussion. Not just the students, though. Women in politics. I wish I had taken this one earlier on and in person. It would have been something, but this was an online, so I said, what the hell? I'm not about to do the what if. I'm not about to do the what if on this one, Darryl. Some people may think, oh, it's just a dog, right? People reacted to a kid getting picked on, especially when he's got challenges. And me, I got my own challenges from my own damn health failing, but I'm also taking care of my dog because she's the world right now. I'm not looking for cooters or slaps in the back on us telling me how wonderful I am. All I know is I see the struggle. All I know is I'm trying to deal with my dog's health. After that, that scares the hell out of me worse. How do I deal with that emotionally? I still talk to a therapist, and now I'm talking to a priest. I hate dealing with death. I hate dealing with separation. I hate it all. You said you were having anger issues. You were showing it, dude. I heard it. I saw it. You were having it. I know you were pissed off at the other people who were picking on the kid. Yeah, I'd be pissed off too if I wasn't that distracted about it. I wouldn't be crying over the kid. I'd be pissed off at the other people. I just don't want to add another thing to the bonfire I've already got right now. Is it his? Shit. Couldn't sleep this morning. Toss and turn. An hour and a half cat nap, and I'm already up for hours. Maybe about later on, I'll try to get another hour and a half before I can start functioning again. Right now, I just got to deal with what it is. So I will talk at you later, Darryl. One more thing. Do you have medical insurance? Because it seemed like after you had that bike accident, you should have been seen by urgent care. At least they would have been able to give her some prescriptions for pain meds for the damn thing. You still got a shiner. Yeah, I saw it, Shiner. I hope you're feeling okay. If you're not allergic to Tylenol or Motrin, the only two non-addictive medications I know that you could take for pain relief, and an ice bag. Feel better, my friend.